Okay, so hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today is Friday, the day of the weekly roundup. I have no idea what the hell is going on with all my devices. Everything is on, and it's annoying as all hell. Anyways, so hey Green, welcome to the stream. Glad you could stop by. Let me move you on over. That is not what that does. There it is. Anyways, so welcome to the weekly roundup, the 11th. Now, I do want to talk about some things, and they're not very serious topics, but I do want to talk about not only are we going to review the past streams of the week, we are also going to talk a bit about the Onimusha, the demo that came out recently, our playthrough, and of course maybe a bit of the Onimusha series as a whole, and maybe where I think it might be going. So here we go. It's gonna be a little short because I had skipped last Monday because I needed to. So I'm only going to really look at like a handful of like videos, but here we go. Let me turn this off. Bam. All right. So the first one we're gonna look at is Tuesday's stream of Moses and Plato, the last train to Clawville. Let me see if I can get some gameplay going. Skipping that. Because I mainly put this on here just so I have someone to watch and not just, you're looking at my character just jiggle around all over the place. Here. I'm not sure what it's called. Viewer retention, that kind of BS. Turn myself down a little bit. Alright, so I really enjoyed the Tuesday stream. That was fun. I'm always a fan of like point and clicks, as I think my channel knows by this point. I am a fan of point and clicks, and in the coming week, we're probably gonna look at a couple more.
In Nautica, the place was breathtaking.
So
it was as if we had stumbled into a strange fairy tale.
Hang on, I gotta change that.
About
so the thing about
the pipes
playing this game is that I know I've said it a bunch of times, but I'm gonna say it again. It feels like maybe I illusioned. Hey, a spade. Welcome to the stream. I feel like I illusioned myself or fooled myself into thinking that maybe the things I was doing was shaping the story. And it doesn't look like that. It doesn't look like that at all. And I'm gonna a little over there. What's going on is that, from the way I'm looking at it, is that when you're in the train, you go and you pick a certain number of people to talk to. I'm not sure if I'm advancing any plot routes, like it's a visual novel or something, or if I'm actually gaining anything out of it. What's happening is that I'm being spun around with all the colorful dialogue, which is great, but at the same time, I'm a practical person. I'm the kind of like wants to like get on with it.
It's not.
No, not at all.
And so the tiny conversations are being looped around feels like it's done on purpose. Not that it would be an accident in the first place, I'm just saying. It feels like it's I'm being spun around for almost no reason. And in the points of the gameplay, where we end up in these areas, like this one here. We're in Nautica, the underwater city.
What's the problem?
This is where the actual plot of the game seems to be opening up. At least for me. I'm not watching anyone else play this game. If there are, really. So I don't know what someone else's experience is. I'm just merely going off on my own. And so far, this has been what it felt like for me so far, playing this game. Not that it's like,
We've never had to
not that it's ruining the game, it just I feel like it's kind of ruining it for me. I'm going to complete it, don't get me wrong. I'm going to complete it, it's just, I was kind of hoping I could solve the case. You know? I feel like I'm being led.
Here's some reputation. If even the smallest detail is not
But the cast of characters are just getting more and more colorful. Honestly, I think it's great. Except for certain things with like the actors, I feel like the actors' drama, Cassidy and Cassandra, I feel like there's a point that's trying to be made here. Or maybe it's just that the writers are trying to create like this sort of facade where it's like the more you get intervened with the no, I'm sorry, that's not the word, entwined with the actors' drama, the more it looks like they could have been directly involved with both the murders that took place on the train. Looks like it. I'm not saying that they are. Looks like it. Honestly, I think at this point, I would not be surprised if there was a point in the game where we were introduced to another character and that character is the murderer. Like, I'm not sure if anyone else has the same sentiment I do, but if you watch like crime-solving shows on TV or on a streaming service or whatever, there's these kind of shows that they try and give you the thought of like it's a crime drama. You know, you get to like see like these cops and detectives. They're all either goofballs or their heads are too far up their ass to see the sunlight. They usually try and solve like very serious cases, and they try to give you the illusion that they're using all these techniques. They're talking to people. They're getting into cool gunfights and shit. But at the end of the episode, none of that really mattered because a new character comes up and it's be like, ah, so you're the one that killed him. You know, kind of like Scooby-Doo. If you'd watch Scooby-Doo and you're like, yeah, they're doing all this work, and then it just ends up being some other guy in a mask that you never seen, and you're like, oh, okay. So what was the point to all that then? You could have just did the thing, caught the guy unmasked, and be like, this is the dude. I feel like it's kind of coming up like that. At least for me, at least. I'm going to turn a little up. There we go. Just a little. Can I move here? Oh, I can. Okay. But that's just the way I'm looking at like how the plot's unfolding for me. Now, on the other end... Oh, I really do enjoy the artwork. Like the background and stuff. It's very nice. It's and that's they really give like the character of like the areas to what they really, you know, what they ought to be looking like. Just skip ahead. And I'm always one in games where I try my best to explore like the areas themselves because I feel like there's a branch of game development. I'm not a developer yet. I'm not a developer. I'm a gamer first. I just want to appreciate like whoever is, you know, behind doing like the backgrounds for like games or like the little like if you're playing a game and you see like a cereal box or something like that and it has like a design on it, I want to look at that. Because I want to appreciate that too. And these games, point and clicks, and to an extent, survival horrors, I feel like that too. Whereas like these individuals really shine, and I want to appreciate that. And it's very much the same thing with this game. Is that the backgrounds are very nice to look at, very characteristic of what they were going for. Since the last area we were in, Alveria, was supposed to be like a city of the air with like blimps, and it was high up and stuff. It was really good. Really give you that feeling that you were high in the clouds. This one is the same thing. Actually, this place gives me mad Bioshock vibes. Oh no! Like we're in Rapture. This is paint cracking. Oh, this was funny as hell. Oh, I love this. Wait. Oh my god.
Don't be paranoid, my dear friend.
Moses, no, not Moses, I'm sorry. Plato is like so paranoid about being in the water, as you should be.
Far and wide.
And he's like, oh no, I think I hear
eventually
cracking. He's like,
everything
oh,
will
come on,
collapse,
it's not
won't
that
it?
bad. You're being
What
a
if
big
it
baby.
happens right
And then all of
now?
a sudden, imagining things. Veins are crackling. That's excellent. Oh my, alright. I was cackling up. Anyone who's been into my channel, you saw the short, you know. I was cackling up. That's funny. Anyways, like what I was saying. Oh man, the timing. That has to be the short. I don't know. I also
Maybe a
feel like
couple
some of the
come out,
characters
who
here
knows?
are just really here
Okay,
for just
so
flavor. Like,
We're just gonna talk to
I
people
don't
from
know
left to
exactly
right,
what
regardless
Marco's
of how much I want to talk to them.
whole gig is, but as soon as I finished my conversation with him here,
Fantastic, isn't
it gave me the achievement
bird in
that
an
says like,
underwater
oh,
city.
you did his
It could be
personal
the
plot
title of a
line.
movie.
So I guess
is
that
such an
means
adventure, isn't
that's
it?
it for him.
A
That's
cat
his
underwater
whole
is
involvement
just
with the
as
case.
bizarre.
Bizarre. It's amazing.
Almost the
Just
same
look
thing
around.
for the Tarogan Dela
You said you've been everywhere
I'm sorry.
in the world,
The
but it's as if you're seeing Nautica
the
for
Buffalo
first
guy.
time. I have been
Like, as soon as I was
everywhere,
done talking
buddy,
to
just as you
him,
say. But Nautica
and like he
is
admits that why he was
Because it
actually
doesn't
there
matter
was just to keep
anyway.
an eye on Ignat.
My mission is over.
Which was surprising, not
Your mission?
surprising, because it's
Mission?
surprising that he actually admitted it. Not surprising that it was something like that. Because honestly, the
Don't
way
worry, I
he
won't
sees
say a
it
word,
is that
sir. It's terrible to see you
the
so
Clawville
distressed.
Crown simply
Why don't you tell
put
me exactly what's
like
weighing
their
you
newly
down?
acquired assets
Are you trying to
onto
extract
like the
information
train
from me by
to not
feigning
only keep an
empathy
eye on the
towards my
ambassador as
character?
he's coming over to
Please
Clawville from
understand me.
Stavonia to do
know,
like the peace treaties,
you're
but
right.
also if anything was to
And I
happen,
completely
he would be the fall
understand.
guy, and that's
You
how
need
he
to
sees
know
it.
and see
And
the
honestly,
whole
I kind
picture.
of see his point.
Well, I feel like this is the journey.
I kinda
where
see
hope
his
has
point.
Finally abandoned me. Could you elaborate? You see, Torogo was a kind of
Now I
separate,
don't. Now
ruled
he's
the
like
world for a
gone
long
total
time,
doomer at
until
this
he became
point.
a
So I
colony of
think any
Clawville.
future conversations
Let's
with
leave
him
aside
is
the
probably
blood
just going to be
past
that.
decades and the Civil War, but still,
We
if we
still
look at
don't
the
have
long
any like.
Clawville immediately
I feel like I'm
brought us a
clearing
more
up these
advanced
characters quite
civilization
fast.
and a new world order. The Clawvillian dream of predators and
But
prey
we'll see what
living
happens the
together in
next time I
peace.
play this game.
I really did just remain a dream.
Also, I also
You're
feel
right
like
about that,
talking to
Detective
Kunia,
Claudius.
there's no
But
point at
for
all.
us, oh,
There's no
so
point
you
in
are
talking to
that
her.
kind of detective. Columbo.
At all.
How are you feeling?
I'm still kind of like
How am I
miffed
feeling?
that when we
Sorry, I don't
were
understand the
interrogating
question.
her, I only got like 4
Just
stars because I
How
could
are
have
you
swore.
feeling? Have you come to
could've swore I
terms
got
with
all
the
that
loss
right.
of your father?
Actually,
What
that's
are you
another
going to
thing.
do now?
I haven't had a good
No, I mean-
interrogation in this game,
I honestly didn't expect that
like,
question.
since I
This is
interrogated
anything to do with
Kunia.
the investigation. Not at all. We just want to make
Am I
sure
going to
you're
get to
okay.
interrogate someone? Because I
Really?
felt like that was like really
Well,
fun to do.
I'm not
Like
used
I
to
was
this.
gathering clues,
Maybe
and then like
I have intimate
Ace
thoughts about
Attorney
time.
style. You know, there was like
I
this
feel
little
kind of
thing. It was like I have to like
emptiness,
contradict
void,
like something they said.
confusion
It's like
perhaps.
hold it or
But
something.
in any case, I long for change. If possible, if this is all over and we don't find
It feels like
ourselves in the
I got
middle
to
of
do
a
it like
war,
max
I'd like
twice,
to stay in Clawville.
and that's been it so
It would
far.
hurt too much
So
to go
far,
back to
we haven't
Stavonia.
beaten the game yet, but we're
And I
getting
don't know
there.
what I do with myself.
So,
If we can help in that, we will, ma'am. We'll put in a good
poor
word for
Pierre.
you.
Pierre
If
does
we're
not
in jail.
deserve the grief he is getting.
Oh, yes. Thank you, detectives.
Of course,
my
we have to
luggage.
consider that he may be very much entwined within the case, but at the
Plato.
same time, I kind of feel
Yes,
bad
Moses,
for Pierre.
Let's take the luggage.
Like he tries hard to make like his,
Oh,
you know,
good. So
people
we have
look
some
like,
kind of
you know,
flavor
how
to this
everyone
bland
else
fish.
doesn't see, how everyone else sees
You
them.
bring in the lemon
You know,
juice.
like he's trying to
Thank
like
goodness.
beat the
I
beat
thought it
the
was just gonna be
stereotype
just
and
bland
stuff. You know,
substance.
he's trying to be like a good person. You know, he can show like an insect can also do these things, and he just gets bullied this whole game. Like his first day in the job
Wait,
is
I
like
really
the
have to?
worst day ever.
Oh,
2
okay.
people die in the train.
So shall we go?
There's a bunch of
Let's
like
see.
snotty people on it, and then
It
at
never
this
hurts to
point
double
he's just
check.
getting
Sometimes animals
absolutely
blurt out stuff.
I don't know any else the word. He's getting straight
I'm
up
pretty sure we
abused
talked to everyone.
by like
New ask
this
topic.
fish lady.
Wait, about what?
what's really sad about it too is that like
What?
after this, he's like so starstruck. He's like any attention from her is like the greatest thing has ever happened to him. I think his little spider brain fried.
Right? Well, I'm thrilled.
What?
Oh, huh?
Thrilled.
Miss Latuna loved her room, and she's happy with me.
You see what I
too.
mean? He's
Is
just
he
Are we
delirious?
watching the same show?
he's over the moon.
I couldn't have asked for more.
I'm
Poor
glad
Pierre.
you feel that way. The
I hope he
important
gets a
thing
good
in
ending by the
is
end of
that
this.
Everyone is
I'm going to
happy.
be honestly
poor
kind
Pierre.
of sad if he
Stroke
turns
is
out to be like
starstruck.
the
Goodbye,
mastermind behind the whole
gentlemen.
thing.
See you later.
I'm gonna be really sad.
Goodbye,
Watch
Pierre.
that be foreshadowing, and then I'm gonna have to like look back at the streams
With
like,
so
damn,
many eyes, he
I
can't
saw it
see
coming.
what's in front of him. Much sushi. Come on, chat, bring on the sushi.
yeah, we solved the box, which I think I did not see the game save when I did
I
this,
see.
and
So the middle section is
before the
opening
next
up.
time I play this game, I'm
So I
gonna
have
have
to
to turn it
fly
on really
here.
quick, do
So
this
is that
again,
all I have to do
and just get back to
try
where
and
we
find
were.
the combo that opens this?
Which honestly, this is not a bad puzzle. The puzzle box was way harder. Literally,
Oh,
this
we
was
going
just
Prey and
process of
Predator?
elimination. You just keep pushing it until like the little window opens up, and then that's
the
it.
hawk eats the snake. I see.
The bottom row was supposed to be like, what's the prey for the predator and what preys on that and what, yeah, you know what I mean? But the top line, I had no idea. I have no idea how I was supposed to figure that out. I just did process of elimination and worked out.
Okay, no, that makes sense. Okay, I can do that. Wait a second, what do I have here?
Because honestly, what eats a sloth? I don't know, I just didn't get it.
We learned that Marco's
So,
name is not
Now it's
actually
time
Wind
to
Rider,
move
as
on
useless as that is.
to the next day, which we ended Sly 3, and I have a bit of I have some stuff to say. I have some stuff to say about it. So first of all, again, we're gonna give the Cooper series a break. I'm not done with it. I still want to go through Sly 4.
This guy's
That's going to be a very painful experience, and I want all of you to share in that pain too. Aren't I a good fox? Sharing is caring, as they say. And to do that, I'm going to have to figure a way to try my best to avoid getting an emulator, because I very much could. I have the game. I'm not breaking any rules or anything like that, although I don't think there's nothing wrong with emulation in the first place.
Oh, that was weird.
But I do want to get
Yeah, I'm not
this
sure I follow.
running with my capture card. The problem is the PS3 has certain things that won't allow you to do it normally. So I gotta figure out how to like do that, and then I can get Sly 4 working
Okay.
on its native console. If I could have gotten it to work on a different system, that would have been great. Like if I can get Sly 4 on the PS4 or the Switch or something like that, I could do that easy.
back
I could
to
do
the
it like next time I was supposed to play this game. Well, yeah, look forward to that. Now the process of going through like the last missions here kind of felt like, I don't want to say like they were rushed, but I felt like they ran out of time and they just had to put something out quickly. I hate the RC cars. Every darn Cooper game has one of these RC car missions, and I loathe them. I'll be honest with you, it's really because I stink at it. I'm just gonna be honest. The first game, it was the Murray Racing missions. Hated it. Second game, it had like
Why am I so bad at this?
when you were in what was it, Canada, and you had to do like that Twisted Metal style RC car vehicular combat kind of thing. Hated it.
Oh my god.
This game with these missions, hated it. I don't think there's
Take the
anything like that in
jump into the
4,
track
so that's
and
fun.
Destroy a radar.
That's gonna be fun.
Gotcha.
Scratch one radar.
Going through Sly's mission with like the biplane was okay. It was standard. I did have issues with it. Namely,
Alright, so we're getting used to the controls.
not because of anything else. I do think the controls sucked.
I legit.
And the camera was kind of ass. But it's just a skill issue on my part. Yeah.
To disable the turrets, you
Case in
need to
point.
destroy their sensor bank. Unfortunately, it's only
But honestly, it was
exposed for a
normal.
short
I
period after
really
the missile was
liked
launched.
the
Nice
other
shooting,
airplane
but
mission
Penelope took
better
out
than I
those
liked
radar
this one.
towers, or the sky would be thick with guided missiles.
Like the one with the
Oh,
aerial
heavens for
dogfight.
you.
That was way funner than this. And I feel like the controls were better too. It could be just like the missions are just too far apart for me to get used to it. But I felt like the dogfight missions were just better. Let me see. Boss fight was lame. Going into the vault was alright. Now, about going into the actual vault itself, I have questions, and I wish I was like a super famous YouTuber or something like that can question the people who made the game, which, you know, honestly, I won't be able to
Oh, what?
because of like certain things, such as being that most of the team that developed these games in Sucker Punch are not even there. They're not the same people, so if I ask questions, they're not gonna know.
And then it bites me. in
But
the
really,
ass.
I was thinking like this whole thing with going through like the vault, and you got to see like the pictures of like Sly's ancestors. I wonder if
The strongest of the Cooper
4
clan
was
slain
planned,
Cooper
because
break any
from the
lock
way
with a
this
single
game
blow.
ends, it's a perfect ending to a great
Alright,
trilogy.
moving on. Getting some
The
treasure.
perfect
Hey,
end.
hey,
It doesn't have to go anywhere. And then Sly 4 happens, which is out of the blue, and really contradicts everything this game had set up or had established.
Very
And then we go back in time and meet those very same ancestors. And I just want to be like, was Sly 4 like an out-of-pocket kind of thing? Or was Sly 4 planned from the beginning? Oh, this mess. That's what I want to know. Of course, my analytical mind, I'm thinking, it must have been out-of-pocket. They must have been like, they saw the PS3 and it's like, we can make Sly Cooper shine. Let's change the art style. Let's change the storytelling. Let's change how the characters are. Let's let's mess up with the gameplay mechanics.
I don't know why my character is doing that. For some reason, my mic is like,
Let's
oh,
screw up
this
the
is-
story
this
we
picks up
established for
frames.
3 games in. Yeah, we're gonna make it shine,
Me
baby.
clicking the buttons.
I keep shitting on Sly 4 on the channel, and
Well, I'll just end up
And like, I have nothing to show for it. I'm going to fix that. I swear. I'm going to show everyone.
Alright. What do we got here?
Ninja Spire Landing was perfected in feudal Japan by Ryoichi
I have
Cooper.
also have to say, Sly Cooper fans, as I've been doing like this whole thing with the series and talking about it occasionally on my socials. Sly Cooper fans are really into these
Oh.
games.
Okay.
They're I'm being nice. I swear. Y'all are really into these games. Like, I was talking to someone one time, and it felt like I was having an argument about playing Sly 4.
That
I'm
was
like,
so
I'm gonna
close.
play it. I won't go into detail, but I
But
mean,
yeah,
cool your jets, guys.
easy.
Cool it. Because the game exists. They made it with the intention of it continuing the franchise. That's what it is. You have to accept it. Sure, I'm not happy about it. But that's that it, you know. It's there.
Another ancestor.
Let me
Only at
see
one
if
October,
I
sailed
can
the
find
seas and
other
stole them.
notes. This Murray fight was a lot harder than I was used to.
Roll away. Roll away.
Like, a lot harder than I was used to. I don't know what the hell happened. I think what was happening was that I was getting bit in the ass. Because I played the game without getting any upgrades besides the ones that I needed. Which, again, I argue is a perfectly fine way to play these games. I did it. Actually, it's to the point where I think that buying the upgrades is pointless. It's really for flavor. Even up until like the first game. The only reason you do it in the first game is so you can complete the Thievius Raccoonus. And you get like the extra stuff after that. But like the moves and stuff that Sly learns, it's, I don't know, they're pointless. A lot of them are just pointless. Let me see, what else can I talk about? Blah, blah, blah.
The one thing.
Yeah, the
where
final
you,
boss
like-
fight was surprisingly annoying.
Or maybe was that like a different game?
Like, it was really annoying.
Yeah, I think that was the second game.
I'm so sorry if anyone hears that on the stream. It sounds like the most chaotic daycare right outside.
Oh, you know what? Hang on.
Anyway, about the ending. So,
Figured it out. Oh, come on.
this is where everything sort of like falls apart. And I like, because this ending is a bona fide ending. I said it before. It's a bona fide ending. You know? Everyone went their separate ways. They're all still friends. You know, it's like their thieving days are over. Murray turns into overweight speed racer.
I'm building a time machine to find out.
Bentley forms a time machine, which again, I think this is why I have that idea of
Recently, he's been
maybe
trying to
it
break
was
into
the whole
pro
time travel
racing
gig was
circuit.
planned.
Stock van class. Things are. I'm in love.
He
Shit,
gets
I
with
have
Penelope,
set out on
which
a
is
journey
cool,
that I never would have
but not to
dreamed
spoil
of
anything.
running with Sly Murray.
Yeah,
Although I hope our
Yeah.
paths will cross again soon.
that's not cool, man. And then we got like this ending where Sly is pretending he lost his memory just so he can be with Carmelita. It's a great ending. Because in this ending, it makes it look like Sly is no longer burdened by the Cooper legacy. He's no longer burdened by it. He can live as his own person. Hey, Mimi, welcome to the stream. Glad you stopped by. And he's his own person. So he gets to be with the girl he likes. Don't blame him. And he gets to, you know, he can just be. So it's a really good
Sneaky
ending.
Devil.
Okay, so
Let me see.
that is the ending.
Okay, so the next game I'm going to talk about is Onimusha Way of the Sword. So, I'm not sure how to tackle this because I've been thinking about it all day. Because I do want to talk about some things. Not everything that's in my brain, but there are some things I do want to talk about as a person who has been playing the game for a long time. And those who frequent my channel would know that I have a ton of videos going through Onimusha Warlords 2, 3, and Dawn of Dreams. I skipped the side games. There's like a tactics game on the DS, I think. And there's Blade Warriors, which is like Onimusha but Smash Brothers. So I don't know how to tackle this game, how to tackle this conversation. What I want to do is that I want to go through like the beginning of the series first. Like, I want to talk about how Onimusha started before I talk about Way of the Sword. So, to do that, we're going to go and I'm just going to put this up because, you know,
Oh man, I've had this terrible.
so everyone knows what to look at. This is Onimusha Warlords. It was originally developed on the PS2. There is an OG Xbox version called Onimusha Genma, which has some different stuff. Well, it looks a little better if you ask me. I played this 5 months ago, is what this thing is telling me. The story stars Samanosuke Akechi, a samurai in the feudal era who gets who is sent to save this princess, which is his cousin. Noting that his cousin, he runs into some trouble, and this happens. The spirit of the Oni, the longtime enemy of the Genma, basically like, yo, you're the chosen one. We're gonna give you this sick drip, and you're gonna go kick some ass. And so, clad in his sick drip and his main character stuff, someone else goes out and kicks some ass. And that's what we did.
Wait, can I get a critical out maybe? It's been a while.
This game can be really just summed up to being Resident Evil, but samurai. I think a good number of Capcom's games during the time were like that. Like if you think Dino Crisis, well, it's Resident Evil with dinosaurs. Resident Evil, it's Onimusha with zombies.
Naps are good.
If
That's good.
you see
just
where I'm going
recovering
with
from
this?
The year before,
Like, they had a
I can
style.
understand that.
And one of the big things about Onimusha that games 1 through 3 try to give the players with its narrative is that you're playing as the Onimusha. You're the last hope for humanity. Now,
Oh yeah.
playing these games all these years and knowing a bit
Do it.
more about like different
I dare you.
cultures and stuff like that, I really question exactly what do they mean by humanity's last hope, but I won't get into that.
Oh, wait, there's a kick. Oh yeah. There we go.
Of course, a mainstay in the Onimusha franchise is that you're able to gain Oni weapons. They're weapons made by the Oni. They all have magical abilities, usually like some Power Ranger elemental thing. Like here, Ryzen is a electric sword. And it's
Oh, yeah, we
you
got our first,
you see this formula throughout the franchise
weapon thing.
up until Dawn of Dreams. We'll get there.
It basically acts just like the
The
regular
games are
sword.
exciting. They're
It's just-
linear. I don't think you can have an argument that our Onimusha couldn't be linear because it was just the style of the games. You know? You get to face like all sorts of bosses. And I'd say they're probably, if you ask me, I think they're more colorful than the main cast is, but just moving on from there.
Yeah, okay, let's go, big boy.
Combat in the games is very rigid.
Ow. Ow.
So you really
yeah,
had to
bad news.
plan stuff. You really had to get around the fixed camera angles. You had to, you know, you had to play smart. You had to play carefully. You could brute force some of the stuff, but as you see here, it's probably better just to make use of your movement options, the little you do. Because as much as
Oh yeah,
Sam
you
here
mad.
is
Oh,
very
wait. I saw it
restricted
coming
to
too,
just
shit.
doing only certain things, so are the enemies. So it's equal. It's very much equal. Even though they can probably swat you like you're a badminton. But you know, you had your options to tackle the game's various challenges. Let me see. You're introduced to probably one of the main
he's getting
villains of the franchise, Guildenstern. You're introduced to him, and he appears in really a number of the games, especially if they include like Samanosuke in the story, except for Dawn of Dreams, which is a shame. Let me see. What else can I talk about? Very Resident Evil like I said. The game centers around a castle or a mansion, however you like to see it. You get to play as different characters. Well, you get to play as one other character, I should say. You get to play as Kaede here for like, what, max 3 times? So I'm like, eh. But it's your usual survival horror flair. It is that the game was fun.
And
it's interesting.
They go in the same direction.
Now, to move on, like, say, mechanic-wise, not so much story-wise, but mechanic-wise, we go into Onimusha 2.
Wait, what?
This was funny as hell.
Oh yeah, wait.
We go into Onimusha 2. Released a little after, we get to play as Jubei Yagyu. Now,
wrong. There are actually like these books
this
you have
game
to get,
took
and you
what
get them from like the other
Onimusha
characters
1 had,
when you give them stuff
and doubled
mainly
it.
weapons, and that lets you
Yeah, it's
charge
still
multiple
linear.
multiple levels.
But occasionally you would return to, like, I would call it a hub.
You know,
I would call it a hub. You return to
it
this
might be
town
Darude, but I
occasionally,
remember there being a shop.
and then you can,
Oh,
like,
okay.
go and unlock a new thing, so you
Never
can
mind.
progress the story of the game. You get to visit different stories. And I think in this case, it's almost like how Code Veronica had tackled
Missing
progression.
Egg, grilled fish, some salt,
bit.
vodka, conch shell,
Let me see if I can find
book,
anything
flour.
that I can talk
Artwork
about this
number
game.
16.
Combat was very much the same. Jubei has his own style of doing things, but normally it's lock on, strafe, poke, use magic attack, that kind of thing. Which again, isn't bad. It's good, actually. Linear combat styles in like, I guess you can call them old games now. Yeah, see, they had like a way of thinking around
That
it.
was sick.
You only had like so few tools
Just
to
snag
use,
with the fatality.
and you can learn to use them well. All the games in the franchise have this thing called Isen. I call them criticals because I read somewhere that's what it meant. It doesn't, but that's what I'm going with.
Box.
Where
Got me a crystal ball.
you, like, if an enemy tries to attack you, and it was like at the
Hey, what's
frame where
this?
to hit you, you hit the
This
attack
is
button.
sealed somehow, and I can't
And you'll
open it.
attack instead. Most of the time, instant killing the enemy that,
How
well,
do you open
attacked you. Most of the time. Unless it's like bosses, and then it just does
Well, I
a
don't have any
good chunk of damage.
dispelling Stuff.
In this game, you can do like multiple
So-
ones to like a singular enemy. It's fun. Really fun when you
At least
pull
I
it
would
off.
Assume I do. Oh, I'm not.
This
even on
game
track.
also had a thing where they had companion characters. Like, here's Ike. You can converse with them and give them
me see if I
giving
can
them
give him
gifts,
something.
doing their own little subplots.
Um,
Change the way the game, how like your run would go. And at the end of the
man, I don't
game,
know.
it would give you like this chart, the
I probably should've
storyline
bought those
chart,
pictures.
and
now
it
I
was
think about
all
it.
over the place. You know, you had to
Maybe
do
like
like a
this.
certain, you had to meet Magoichi here, you had to meet Oichi over there, you had to meet Eke. There's points
mind.
where in my playthrough where Eke is a bad guy. It doesn't have to be. You can literally be his best friend, and he'll
Artwork
fight
number
alongside
7.
you, or
What's
he'll just
that?
go. To me, when I did it, a long time ago, he just went home. That's what it looked like to me. He's like, screw this, I'm going home. Don't blame him.
Oh, okay.
So the game has replay value, and
These
I
are like
think that
books.
is something that it beat out from Onimusha 1, was that if you were very interested in the other character stories and how
I
they
can't really see much,
influenced
so I can't help if I
Jubei's,
wanted to.
which plot twist, it kind of doesn't.
I mean, I
You
tried
kind
to
of end up in the
start
same
shooting
spot,
arrows.
whatever, but it's still fun going through if you give the time to do it. Normally, there is only like
Most riveting sword fight.
if you do
people.
like a casual playthrough, you can only like
Boss fight.
befriend one character at a time.
Ugh.
But I have heard that some players have sort of optimized their playthroughs where you can do
And that's it.
all the characters in
That's
one
literally the whole
go.
thing.
I think 1, amazing. 2, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And I didn't. There's a whole lot of stuff you can find in this game too. Like you can get your partners more weapons, you can play with them. And that's the thing about this game too, is that your companions weren't just people that stuck around and you did all the work. Sometimes they would lend in too. And you got to play as them. Like you could play as all of them. I believe this is also the first game where we fight, you know, Japanese Dracula. We get to fight Nobunaga Oda. The first time. But what I'm trying to get to is that even though with all like the evolution this game had, it's still an Onimusha game. You play this coming from the first game, you're like,
I always
yeah,
feel like
this is a
weird
sequel to
story things
Onimusha
like that in games must be
in every shape and form.
do like some sort of like
So now we're going to go to, what is this? This is 3. This is the third game, Dirge, of the Onimusha franchise. We return as the role for Samanosuke Akechi.
ow.
And we're out, basically he's out to rip Nobunaga a new one. Because like I said, it's like one of the favorite bad guys in fiction. So we're going to go kick his ass. Doing that goes horribly wrong. I believe I did not
Oh, that was weird.
go to where I wanted to go. Screw it. You win the boss fight. There's some time travel shenanigans and like good cop, bad cop kind of thing. We get to meet. Now I want to make one thing clear. Being an Onimusha in this series was a huge deal. For the longest time, Sam was the only one. Because again, the games try and make it feel that you're humanity's last hope. Literally, the one guy. So it becomes a surprise when we meet Jacques. Played by Jean Reno, famous actor. Actually, all the main characters, I think most
Funny,
of the main characters of the
I think
Onimusha
it's like a bit of like
franchise
an
are
inconsistency
their
thing
appearance
with
and
the,
likeness is taken from an actor.
There we go. You just boot him.
Samanosuke is no different. I just don't know the actor's name.
The lore
But he
concerning,
was
like,
based on an
how,
actor.
um,
Jubei Yagyu was
demons
based
react
on
to guns.
an actor
I'll
named
talk about it in a
Matsuda.
bit.
Of course, you know, Jean Reno here. Let me see if I can get to Jacques' section here. Skip. Yeah, so again, it's kind of a big deal when now there are 2 Onimusha. Really because since the timeline's so screwed up, they decide that this timeline still needs an Onimusha, so they make Jacques one of them. Again, humanity's last hope. So now this whole thing starts to get pretty muddy in the next game,
Oh, that's not what I meant. To
which we're gonna show off here. This is Onimusha Dawn of Dreams, basically Onimusha 4. Still a good game, but it is considered to be like the black sheep of the franchise, really because that it had a radical change of the Onimusha formula. As you see, it's not a fixed camera angle for the most part. There are still sections of the game that is still fixed. You have a permanent partner that you can interchange every once in a while. It has RPG elements tied into it, so you had to level up gear. You could buy potions. Well, I mean, you can buy potions in most of the games, but my point is that it becomes really important in this game to do so. Most of the mechanics are still there, except that they made a change with the magic gauge up here. That you can do a level 1 magic attack, meaning that you can charge it up to level 3 depending on how far you've leveled up your chosen weapon or the one you're using at the moment. And if you hit an enemy, they get like this stun animation, and you could do a critical on them. Really, the easiest way to get a critical off in any of the Onimusha games. Because there's they call it a true Isen, which is the one I explained earlier. There's deflect Isen, where it's the same thing, but you block instead of just attacking, and you would repel your enemy's attack, and then you do the attack. Your own, I mean. Those are still present here. The characters you get to play with are a bit more varied. Like, you get to play as this Jubei Yagyu, which is basically Zatoichi, if you know those films. There's Roberto. Big guy, punches stuff, super fun. Tenkai, totally not Sam. He's got a stick, he's got like magic talismans and stuff. Who else could you play as? Oh yeah, you can play as the girl. She has a gun. It's kind of OP, but I hate the character.
That was a waste. There we go.
Like story-wise. Not going to get into that. I'm sure I've talked about that already. The game is much longer than the rest of the Onimusha games by this point. The areas are more like stages, or like points of the game that you had progress into. So there's no backtracking. Well, you can backtrack, but you're usually moving into new areas after a while. So you're never really stuck at a castle, or in a mansion, or in a hole in the ground throughout the entirety of the game. You're in new areas, which keeps it fresh. Boss fights around in this game are interesting. Like, they kind of go from boss battles like this, where you fight humanoid bosses, and they also go with you're fighting huge monstrosities.
Yeah. Get it with the level 3.
This game also introduced an idea that, I don't know what happened there, that the characters have like these special moves which you unlock later on in the game. Like Soki, our protagonist here, whose likeness I don't know. I think this is the one character that they don't have a real life like likeness for. I think they just made it up. I could be wrong about that. Actually, Tenkai looks different in this game too, funnily enough. Doesn't even look like Sam. But it is.
I just knocked it over.
But yeah, the game is just radically different than the rest of the Onimusha games by this point. As for like all the reasons I've said for what you're watching. But most of it is, it's still pretty much an Onimusha game. You can feel the bloodline of an Onimusha game in this. So this leads me to yesterday. This leads me into yesterday's stream, where I had played Onimusha Way of the Sword, the demo. Whew. So, my impressions of the game so far are
The
pretty
sound to the game
positive.
looks amazing. It does.
For the
believe it or
most part.
not,
I'll get
I've
to it
had
in a bit.
on low settings.
The game looks
I got
amazing.
it, like,
The
it's not
demo
even,
runs pretty
not
well,
even 1080,
I'd say.
It looks this good.
I did have everything on low and stuff because
Really, it's just to
I
make the performance
prefer
better for
a game
myself.
that runs well over than looks well.
And of course for the
But
stream
this
as
game
well,
surprisingly can
as
do
I'm always
both,
monitoring
so
it.
I'm happy about that, and I will be
Sprint?
trying the
No,
benchmark
no
whenever
sprint here.
Capcom releases it. So I
Because I
can
wanna take in
determine
the
whether or
atmosphere.
not the entire game will run like this. I'm really hoping so.
which
I'm
really
hopeful.
is just trees.
This game is linear,
Whoops.
which is not an issue.
screw it.
I've been reading that the linearity of the demo
Oh,
has been like a kind of like a thing with some people, and like Onimusha's always been this way. That's not different.
anything interesting on there?
Is that it kind of lies to you because it looks like
Oh,
you
yeah,
can
what
go
the-
in these
what's
other
that about?
places, and you really can't. They're just like
Huh.
background, and I'd rather not have them there. I know it's kind of like a spit in the face of developers. I'm sorry, but I mean, like, I don't know. So this is the new face of the Genma, which is fine. They're very actually my feelings for this is
Alright,
very
let's go.
Silent Hill F-ish.
Stamina and break Isen. Press square or triangle near an exhausted enemy.
And
Without
about
stamina, the
this,
body cannot
There
do
was
the
some sort
mind
of like
wishes.
thing when the
Laying
game was first
attacks on
being
enemies
talked
or
about,
deflect theirs
that when they
to
showed that there was a
defeat their
stamina
foe,
meter,
making them
that
exhausted
the
open
a
to
lot of people
break
were saying like,
Isens.
oh no, they turned Onimusha into a Souls-like.
When an enemy's stamina is low, their
This
body will
demo,
turn red
like
and
in
crack.
Capcom, was like,
Depleted
no, this
stamina
is
will
not a
recover over
Souls-like.
time.
This
Defeat
is
close
its
eye
own
your
game,
opponent
you
will
know.
exploit the advantages
It's
it
very much an
offers.
Onimusha game, but playing this for myself, I can say, okay, it doesn't
Got
play
one
like
hand
Dark
attack with
Souls.
square.
It plays like Sekiro. It plays like Wolong. Still Souls-likes.
It kind of okay. I mean, I'm
And that's how I
sure
feel.
that
I feel like it
everyone
plays
has
like
probably
those.
played an Onimusha game before, but to just summarize here, this is Red Soul.
It still has Onimusha elements.
And you suck
Like
them up
here, you get to
with
suck souls into like a gauntlet, like it's very much like Samano's case. You break stamina. You do a big attack, which
Yellow
is super
Soul, same
flashy,
thing, give you health.
super cool. I really like the dismemberment option that you can just like cut them in half, you know, and I find that cool. I think that's really cool in games. I wish they would do it more. Of course, I'm not a game developer yet, so I don't exactly know what it would take to do
I
that.
wish I could pull the camera back a bit. I can't.
I'm
It
sorry if
doesn't
I'm
give me
making a
the
lot of
option
weird
to, at
noises.
least
I'm
maybe.
trying to get all my thoughts out.
I can't. It doesn't give me the
Combat
option to,
in
at
this
least.
game is sweet as hell. It is nothing like an Onimusha game though.
Like if you really wanted to.
Absolutely nothing like it. It is cool. I mean, look at this. That's cinematic as all hell. That's flashy. Playing this game makes me feel like I'm playing the protagonist of a samurai movie made in the 2010s. That's what playing this game feels like, and I'm loving it. But I will have to mention that the way that this game is, and I think also it's coming from like the philosophy of modern game design. This does not play like Onimusha at all. It's
No, I'll
Onimusha
just do it myself. Okay.
flavored,
Hey, Green, welcome to the stream. Glad you could stop by.
but not really the Onimusha that I've been
Onimusha, Way
playing
of the Sword.
forever.
The demo.
Yeesh, I don't know what the hell's going on. We're just gonna find some more stuff. Let me see if I can find a good spot. Maybe here? Yeah, I know what's going on with
Area I'm
YouTube.
kind of used to coming from like.
This was my
Soul King.
favorite
Ow.
part. So, so unlike the rest of the Onimusha
Oh, that's
series,
sick.
you're
We'll just kill
basically
these guys, deflecting arrows
the
somewhere.
cheesiest samurai on the planet.
King.
Watch me channel my Jedi powers and
Hey,
deflect
oh, shit.
arrows right back at the archers. In the other games, you can't do this.
Oh,
The other games you can. The best you can do in one of the other Onimusha games is that you can cut the arrow in the air. You can do it. All the games, you can do it. It's just that it's such a pain in the ass and you get absolutely nothing for it but aura. That's all you get.
Guys, I'll just stand
I mean, that's all you want. That was pretty cool. Hell yeah, it was pretty cool. Honestly, one of the mechanics that they had changed among a ton was that
That's cool. As hell.
blocking at the right time does not give you a deflect. It gives you a parry, which they're defining as a movement
Oh, I think
that
this is a shield.
readjusts your opponent's position, and you can defend yourself. A deflect in this game's point of view is Musashi standing his ground and repelling
There's an item up here.
an
Let me
attack,
pick that up.
but staying still.
Lesser Might Talisman increases
And
toughness,
it is
stamina
also
damage dealt
the
to
best
enemies for
way
a short duration.
to
Okay.
deplete an
I'm
enemy's
kind of into
stamina
them
bar,
as it is. So
which honestly is broken as hell. Seriously. The deflect in this game is broken. You can literally just do that. You don't have to do anything else.
Spirit's Mirror unlocked.
And it works on everything.
You
If
can
you
use
check out my
Spirit Mirrors
channel
to
and you
save
see
your
like my
progress
boss
at any
fight
time.
against
Additionally,
Ganryu,
making contact with a
Yeah.
Spirit Mirror will restore your health completely. What it also
yeah,
does,
it's-
as
it's
well, as
powerful.
it doesn't say, is that it brings enemies back that you've slain.
I also like to note on, of course, the Onimusha, the return of the Onimusha tradition of basing the main character on an actor. This one, hang on, I want to get a decent shot. I want to get a decent shot. Wait a second. There we go. Okay. So, you samurai movie buffs out there, this is the face of an actor named Toshiro Mifune. He is most known for his movies where another very famous filmmaker was included, named Akira Kurosawa. Together, they made bombing samurai films. One of which is my favorite, Yojimbo. I actually own it. And him being Musashi Miyamoto is not exactly this whimsical thing. He's actually played Musashi before. So this is a photo of Toshiro Mifune when he played Musashi Miyamoto. And the Samurai trilogy, there's 3 movies. They're all based on the novelization of Musashi Miyamoto's life. Novelization, not true story stuff. It's mostly fantasy. So it's not exactly an accident they went with this route. This is also him and my favorite movie, Yojimbo. Probably the best samurai film on the planet. And you can see, they got him pretty spot on. It's pretty much him. The funny thing about this, and a bit of Onimusha history, is that Toshiro Mifune has not been with us for a long while. They also had pulled this kind of stunt before with Onimusha 2. Because in Onimusha 2, as you know, the I think his name is Yasuke Matsuda. He is Jubei bears his likeness, but that actor was not around, when the game was being made. So Capcom has done this before. And it's really cool just seeing them. Because like I said, really cool fucking movies. Let me see if I can find some more ass kickery I can do. Oh yeah. I don't know why it's doing that. Come on, I'm trying to do something here. There's this thing that I find that is I think it's pretty interesting. You can actually do stealth attacks. That's like a total new thing for Onimusha. Although, really,
Mild
for the rest of the series,
restorative
there
stealth.
really isn't a chance to be
I
stealthy.
feel like
There's no real
Okay,
chance to
exactly.
do it, so I'm okay with that. I actually like stealth in games.
'Cause I don't want to talk too
I
much
also
right now,
prefer
but I just wanna try
stealth
and-
games, not just games that you can do stealth in, you know.
Yeah, what
There-
you
there's
got,
different.
kinda
There's
go
a
ahead.
difference. Trust me.
Oh,
As you see, the true Isen is still around, very Onimusha. And I'm glad they kept. Seriously. I'm glad they kept it. Let me see if
like see here, I'll try it
I
again.
can find
I'm-
more
I'm
stuff to
not even
talk about.
walking. Boom. That's what I'm saying.
do. Oh yeah, this part.
Come
I got
at
my
me, man.
ass completely whooped. I'll be honest with you.
Oh crap!
I'm not a pro gamer. It takes me a
Oh,
few
no.
tries.
I'm trying to style on them, and I'm losing. Come on, do something.
But combat in this game is very fluid. If, you know,
Forget it.
you don't suck at it like I do. I'm gonna go a little before that. Honestly, having the kind of, I don't want to call it freedom, but having the choice of how you wish to defend yourself, not exactly just defeat your opponent, but how you defend yourself, is actually quite nice. Like here, see, you can do a deflect against the rolling guys, and they bounce back and they hit other guys. If you do a parry, if the Genma are next to each other, Musashi will like move them into each other, and you can take out two guys at once. I like that kind of strategical kind of thing. I just wish I could do it on purpose. Because most of the times I did it during my gameplay, I felt like I did it by accident. Or just happenstance, the other guy which is standing there.
Archers.
But I guess if I were to talk about how to handle this game's combat is just to be patient. And you're rewarded. At least that's how I'm gonna play it. Like, I'm gonna play it like very defensively.
Let's do this. This is.
I like being able to interact with the
let's check it out.
you know, with stuff in the world too, to do like that kind of thing. Quing. Whatcha? Look at that, that's cool as hell. One of the biggest things I feel, actually I don't want to say that, I want to say it's kind of disappointing, is
The
this.
two Celestials.
Now,
Pair of
as I
blades
just got
forged
done
by
telling
Oni
you,
craftsmen. They extract yellow souls from those they
a
strike
main
down.
thing about the Onimusha games is that during your adventure, you were to be gifted, and you
Oni
would
armaments
find
deplete
like
the
these
Oni
special
power
Oni
gauge in order
weapons,
to unleash special
and you would
attacks.
use them, you
For
unlock
example,
doors.
the two Celestials
They're pretty
execute a
important.
string of
You know,
special
sometimes
attacks
they
that
can save your
extract
butt
yellow
too.
souls from enemies.
This game, however, it kind of
So
changed
when
all
they
that.
first started talking
It
about this game and
regulated
they
the
showed
Oni
off,
weapons
like,
to not
the Oni
actually
weapons,
being weapons.
I
They're more
find
like
it
a
tad
special move.
disappointing.
Like,
Just a little quip
if
on
you
the
were
thing, 'cause
playing
we're
a
gonna talk
fighting
about more
game
about this when the
or
deadline is
something like
available
that.
tomorrow. I don't like the
And
Oni weapons.
I'll just
not
argue it
being
here
like an
that
actual
I don't
weapons
think you
option,
need
know,
them.
like special attacks.
because I didn't. I didn't need them. They're interesting to use because they're because the ones here are super flashy. But I feel like you didn't really need them. And that's kind of disappointing. There's only one of these guys. I kind of wanted to fight more of them. Give me more of these big cleaver dudes.
big guy. Let's maybe we'll use our new toy on you. No, we can't. See, the sword fights are like super flashy. Oh,
Look
no.
at that.
I dodged him.
I
so
really
well,
hate the
too.
tutorials. They just
A
cut
little
out in the
blue
middle
sword
of the
with
action. Like,
only
I'm
power
busy,
gauge,
dude. Can you
enabling
tell me
to
this
use
later?
only armaments. Okay, thanks. I am
Hell yeah, we're
pushing
kicking
guy
this
down.
dude's
Give me a
ass,
second.
dude. See, that was a parry. He parries you. Deflect. Parry. Finish him off. I think the combat in this game is its strongest suit. If anything else, if not to play the game as it was an Onimusha game, definitely play the game because its combat is so sickeningly sweet. It doesn't feel like one of those marionette games either. It feels, like I said, you can choose how you defend yourself. There's not, you have to do this against, well, I shouldn't say that. The countering grabs are kind of like that, but that's the only thing. You can literally defend yourself how you want. Parry, deflect, move out of the way, E-Sen, which I have to say, E-Sens in this game feel different. Now, if you remember what I was talking about like when I was talking about it on when I was looking at Onimusha 2, and E-Sen in those games, you perform by when an enemy's attack is basically in your guy's shoulder, and you're like, Uno, reverse card them, you do your own attack, instant kill them, most of the time. This game, it feels a little weird. It feels a bit more preemptive. Because in this game, when you want to do an E-Sen, you have to hit the button, like, say, half a second before it hits you. And I know that sounds really small, but in action and in compared to, like, when you played the Onimusha games before this, it feels like they made it a tad easier. Now, granted, my gameplay, I wasn't doing a lot of them either, because E-Sens have always been my weakness in the whole franchise. But I could still do them in this game, so there's that.
Oh, boss fight already. Okay, let's go.
The boss fight is... The boss fight's fun. I feel like, the rest of the game is probably gonna have, like, bosses like this, where... I mean, I don't know that, because the game's not even out yet, so I don't know. It could have giant bosses for all we know. But I feel like
Where's the metal hat?
this looks like how a lot of the engagements are gonna look like.
Oh, dang.
Now, notably, I didn't beat Ganryu my first go around, which I'm really sad about because I was pretty confident, and you know, I got my ass whooped like the last second. But as you see, it's like I said with those other games, it's very Sekiro, Wolong, because like you're not really trying to drain this, you're trying to drain this. So then you could do like big hits, so you can take more of this out, like right here.
Why'd it
So
do
yeah,
that?
you
Okay.
broke his stamina.
Use the left stick to select a target area. that
And
can
now
be
you can do
square
a
or
big
triangle.
attack.
You
Basically,
can target specific areas when hitting
Soul's
a boss
critical.
will break E-Sen.
or
Marks
riposte,
are
if you
marked
think
with
about it.
symbols whose colors indicate their effects.
So
Red indicates
Capcom is
extra damage,
doing
while
a
purple
very
means
shit
plenty
job
of
of
souls.
beating the allegations, so to say.
We're gonna try and get rid of him quick.
A very shit job at doing it.
No, you
Bonk.
don't. Get
I really
headbutt.
like how scrappy Musashi is. That's fun. He's not your traditional samurai. He's a very scrappy brawler. and I think that's
It
fun.
seems like you can't be too aggressive with him.
Yeah, I panicked.
Oh, shit.
Man, it looks like it took me a while to beat him too. Damn.
In here, I thought I was going to do him in one shot.
So, honestly,
Back
what
up.
I'm trying to say
Another
is
parry.
that while the game, it is an Onimusha game, it says so at least. While the game is very cinematic, it is very fun, it's interesting, for the most part. I'll get into that later. It's not really an Onimusha game. This feels like a Sekiro Wolong kind of clone, which those are Souls-likes. I kind of had the same kind of feeling when I was playing Silent Hill F. I had that playlist here too.
Oh, no, I did.
Everyone go check that out. I didn't get all the endings. No, thank you. It feels very much like that. Like, it says... Like, that game said it was Silent Hill F, but it wasn't. That game was a complete mess. Actually, this game kind of looks like it too. There's a lot of Nioh inspiration in there too. Mainly like when I saw like the save points. That's Nioh.
Okay, I think we got him this time.
That's just so extra. Come on. That's just so extra.
Awesome. Oh,
I also
what's
feel
this?
really disappointed that
Demo
that's the
completion
ending of the
saved
demo.
data.
Yeah, you
Thank you
beat
for playing the
Ganryu.
demo
Thanks,
all the
buy
way
my
through.
game.
My game is a...
And then you're just treated to this. Which is cool as hell, but you know. So, my thoughts on the demo, I feel, are really clear. And again, about other stuff about the game, like if you go out and you look up like the other trailers and stuff, and you've played this demo yourself and did a bit of research, there's a problem. Now, throughout the whole time I've been talking about Onimusha, I've been trying to give the idea that there is only one. And that's a big deal. One Onimusha. So, this game tries to subvert that. It has two at the same time. Ganryu has a gauntlet as well. You can easily just say, oh, okay, they just want an evil Onimusha just to make things interesting. Okay, cool. But there's a third guy. There's a fourth person. There's a problem. Being the Onimusha does not feel special in this game. And throughout the demo, I did not feel like mankind's last hope. I felt like a normal dude giving magic powers. Yeah, okay. Our normal dude is this badass master swordsman, you know? But at the same time, but still, we're like a dude that just reluctantly, you know, has to use like these magic powers to fight evil. And it also seems like there are others that are doing the same thing. And I find that really disappointing. I find it really disappointing that there are so many gauntlets in this game. I don't like it. Because if it was just Musashi and Ganryu, then it would have just gone into the whole romance of, you know, Musashi and Ganryu being like these eternal rivals and stuff. So they both having a gauntlet would mean something. But then you have like a third dude. He's like this fat guy. You have this fourth person, and it's ridiculous. I'm not into that. I just don't feel like the hero that, you know, Musashi's supposed to be. That's just the way I look at it. So, I guess to close out my discussion for today, there is a couple things I do want to note. You know, there is something missing from this game that the other games do have, and I'm gonna be very light about it. But I'm gonna put it up real quick. You know what this game is missing? It's missing evil alien scientist with scary futuristic technology and evil white dude with a god complex. That's what this game is missing. And it's a mainstay in the entire series. So with that, I think we're going to wrap up. I don't really have much else to talk about. And honestly, it's been a good week for gaming. For me at least. It was a good week of streaming. And we're going to look forward to some pretty fun stuff next week too. So Saturday and Sunday I take off. Again, going back on Monday, I'm going to play a new demo for a game that I think really needs to be seen. Then we're going to go back to Moses and Plato on Tuesday. Wednesday, I have an idea of what to do, but I'm going to leave it as a surprise. Thursday is we're going to return to Digimon Story Time Stranger. I have to do some farming. I'm going to do that over the weekend, hopefully. And of course, every Friday, like today, we're going to do the weekly roundup, where I find topics of discussion. I look back at previous streams and we just chat. That's all this segment is, just us chatting. Everyone is free to give their own opinions on here too. I'm not a dictator. And yeah. So that's it. I tried to stretch it as far as I can. I did not have a lot to talk about. So I guess I'm going to give my send off, and then I will see everyone on Monday. So, hey, I'm Red, the Gray Fox. I stream here on YouTube from Monday to Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Like and subscribe if you enjoy the content that I'm putting out. Thank you everyone for watching. Those that participated in the chat, those that just stuck around and lurked, and those that stuck their head in, dipped their toes in the water, decided it was too hot and left. Again, join me on Monday when we start the stream week. And be sure to check out all my other stuff too. Talking about Onimusha, I have a video and a short of me doing a no damage run against Ganryu. It's literally 1:18 seconds. You know, there's these other guys that have it like it's over like 2 minutes. I'm in like close to like 1 minute. Give me a break, guys. Give me a break. Alright, so I hope everyone has a great weekend and weekday. And I also hope you have a good morning or a good night, wherever you are.